Hello, welcome to Animal Audit Corner. Now, today, as you can tell, I am in my kitchen. And now, guess what? You've got your aid from the MJR Aftermath Foundation and the SPTV Foundation. You got your roof over your head, your car for your transportation, and the clothes on your back. You got all those resources for your survival, but the most important thing you need for your survival is food. Of course, you know, like a car, gasoline to a car, food would be your fuel to get your energy. So I am going to give you all the recipes you need for that survival. So today, we are going to make strawberry jam, and then we're going to make mushroom stroganoff. Usually it's beef stroganoff, but as you can tell, this is a vegan kitchen. So you're not going to find any natural beef here. No, they're plant-based. So let's get started. First, you're going to need 1 lemon, and that will take 2 to 5 teaspoons of lemon juice. So let's put that in. I'm going to use a whisk for that. Okay. All right. So I think I'm going to put in 5 tablespoons in a pot. So you're going to need a pot to actually make your strawberry preserves. Okay. So you're going to need 5 tablespoons of lemon juice. So I'm going to put 5 tablespoons in here. So, of course, you know, I have the natural kind, natural sugar, which doesn't have any bleach in it. So this is what it's going to look like, as I pointed out to you in the other channels. This is what it looks like. It doesn't have any bleach in it. So that's why it doesn't look white. This is the way to go. But of course, just because it's not bleach doesn't mean it's not means it's not good for you. It's not good for you. So doesn't mean it's good for you. It's bad, but you can have it every now and then. Sometimes. So then, gonna need 5 tablespoons of lemon juice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go. Okay. Then, gonna need half a cup of the natural sugar. Of course, I have to pour it in because, this should be it. All right. There. So then you have to take a whisk and then blend it up. So now, okay, then you turn it on. Usually you have to turn it on a medium to low heat. So let's do that. Oops, wrong one. Medium to low heat. Okay. All right. And you do that until everything in there bubbles. Okay, so I think I'm going to get something to... All right. Okay. So I put it on high so can be just out. I'm at the same time I'm going to be in front of the stove, but usually you're going to need it on low to medium. So you have to hang around the stove to check on it every now and then because you don't want everything to be burning on you. So then, here we go. All right. Okay, it looks like it's going to start to boil up. So guess what? Of course, great news. Aaron mentioned that 4 people got out of Scientology this week. And it's great that they're out of that cult and into a safe place. So they're going to need your donations for people like them. So that was so great news. And this week I brought you a tragic story about Jamie Mustard, where he's the #1 best-selling author in the SP community, or former Scientology community. And of course, you heard about his tragic story when he told it. And man, I ended up crying my eyes off. It was horrible. Now, I can't see. I mean, I don't know how a monster like L. Ron Hubbard and David Miscavige were running around. Only thing is, L. Ron Hubbard's dead, and he can no longer harm anyone. So, but David Miscavige is still running around today and causing so much havoc on the world. It's so much chaos. It is horrible. So, okay, here we go. It's starting to bubble up. Okay. I was hanging around the stove so it doesn't burn and turn into candy like it did last time. So, all right. Well, that's with the crepes. So I'll do a crepes another day. But also I have to put very little sugar in there, like maybe a tablespoon. So then, okay. All right. So it has to bubble up a bit. Okay, so we got the lemon juice in there and the sugar in there. All right. And, okay, what else is going on? Now, you know, this week, at the Public Works meeting, everybody came out to tell the president on the Public Works Committee to withhold any permit that is requested by Scientology, which they pretty much deserve. And of course, Scientology up north would tell them about the slave labor that is going on within Scientology. Now, you all know that yesterday, when there was no internet, which was in the 80s, we didn't have it. But then into the 90s, not the early one, when the internet was in its infancy, started out in the 90s, advanced swiftly going towards the end of the 90s. We all know that. And it's a huge thing. And now it just blew up. And now everybody's on it. And now we are just finding out. Of course, you guys, some of you found out about it maybe 10, 15 years ago, where some of us, like me, just found out about it, and it's due to the internet. Okay, here we go. Now I'm definitely gonna turn it down in the middle of 4 and 2. Okay, it's in the middle. Now we're gonna add 10 cups of sliced frozen strawberries. Okay. Yeah, it's 1 cup. So we're gonna put 10 cups of it in there. Oops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Well, this is 4 pounds. So, okay. You know what? I'm going to dump it all in there. It won't make a difference. So then, here we go. That's a whole 4 pounds, but you know what? Who cares? We only live once. So then we're going to let it cook up, and then it's going to thicken. Now, we are also going to make mushroom stroganoff. So we're going to get all the ingredients we need. We're going to need vegetable broth. Plant-based milk. Unbleached flour, which is right over here. Dried thyme. Okay. Salt, got it here. Pepper, got it here. And then we got our glass, very large cup. So we got it in there. Now we're going to use this, but I think I'm going to rinse this off since it was in sugar. You don't want it to start tasting like sugar, so let's go do it. All righty. Okay, so we rinsed this off. And we're also going to need a skillet. So let's get it. And I'm also going to grab my butter since it's called for it. I think. Oh, let's see. Plant-based milk. Done. Okay. Yeah, I don't need butter. I just need my skillet. So off I go. All righty. Okay. Okay, there we go. There's my skillet. All right. Now, you're going to need 1 cup, 1/4 broth. 1 cup. And 1/4. Okay. And 1/4. 1/4 soy milk. It can be any plant-based milk, so don't worry about it if it's not exactly soy milk. So here we go. Okay, there we go. 1/4 soy milk. All right, now we're gonna put this back in the refrigerator. Okay. Now we're gonna turn this on. Ooh, yeah. In a minute, but I think we're gonna have to slice our mushrooms. Oh, which speaking of, Oh, here they are. The mushrooms. All right. So, okay. Yeah, I should have sliced these up first, but you know what? What's done is done. So then we're going to need we're going to need 1/4, and then 1/4 cup of broth. So here we go. 1 cup, 1/4 of broth. Here we go. She'll be coming around the mountain when she comes. There we go. All right, then we're going to pour it in here. All right, there we go. Then we're going to stir it up. Now, if you don't have a large, although we're probably going to need it, you're also going to need a medium bowl. So we're going to get a medium bowl. And there we go. We got the medium bowl. Okay, so we got that. Well, I think I'll go with this. So we got that medium bowl. And then we're going to need 1/3 cup flour. I think it's or is it 1 tablespoon? Yeah, I think it's 1/3 cup of flour. Yeah. Sorry, everyone. Sorry if I seem vague here. So then let's get that. 1/3. Yeah, 1/3 cup flour. Okay, there we go. Then we're going to whisk it. Oh, when you use the plant-based, make sure it's unsweetened, okay? All righty. Okay. Okay, got that. All righty. And then I'm going to put this back because I need room right here. All right. Now, here we go. Mix it up until the flour is gone. And yeah, there's still a little in there, so we are going to put this away. All righty. And then we're going to put Oh no, a half a teaspoon of thyme. I put a 1 in front of the 1/4. You don't need a cup, you just need 1/4 teaspoon. Okay. Okay, 1/4 teaspoon. Yeah, here. So we're going to need that 1/4 teaspoon of thyme. All right. All right. Okay. And then we're going to put this away. Okay, so we're going to stir this up. And let's see. We're going to get all the lumps out of there. And we're going to need about, you know what? I'm debating whether or not I should put the teaspoon of salt in. Since, yeah, I usually don't use salt. But you know what? I called for 1 teaspoon. But however, I don't really use salt, so I am debating whether to put it in. I'll get to it in a minute, but I'm definitely going to put the pepper in. So we're going to need 1/3 of pepper. So, all right. Oh, geez. This is, let's see. Let's see if I can find the 1/3. Okay. Okay, 1/3 pepper. Oh boy. And then let's see. Should I put the salt in there? I'm debating about that. But you know what? Yeah, maybe I will put it. But you know what? I'm only going to put about maybe half of it in there. Let's see. Oh, darn it. Okay, let me see. Okay. Oh, geez. All right, so you know what? I'm only going to put about, I'm only going to put 1/4 of it in there because I really don't want salt. So, okay. Okay. There. All righty. All right. All righty. Here we go. All right. There. Now we're going to pull this aside. I'm going to turn up the strawberries up to 4. Now, All right, now I'm cutting up these mushrooms, so we're gonna go to the sink and wash. Okay, so here we go. All right, and let's see here. I'll stay right here. Try not to have my back towards the camera. All right, so I'm gonna wash all of these. I know I should have done it in advance, but I didn't, so. All righty, here we go. All right, now, okay, what else did I come upon this week? Of course, I just told you for Scientology, former Scientologists left Scientology, which we are celebrating, and all right. All right, there. Okay. All right, and here we go. Have this big bowl of mushrooms. All right, now I'm gonna get my cutting board and we're gonna start cutting up these mushrooms. All right. Now, I got a cutting board bigger than this, but I really don't have the room here to actually use it, so I'm going to use this cutting board. Now, I'm going to get my knife and we're going to start cutting those mushrooms. Now, we're going to cut off all the stems first. All right, let's see what else is going on. Okay, we're going to put them, cut off stems there. And cut this up. Let's see. Now, I hope it said this week on the Public Works meeting where Audit LA actually was speaking, but at the same time, it really did look familiar. I might have got the wrong version, even though it said it took a certain amount of minutes, maybe hours ago. But that's what I got, so I used it. And of course, Audit LA is Los Angeles' favorite heroine. So she goes in there and fights Scientology tooth and nail. So she is the heroine of the entire SPTV network, even though all the production companies are independent. Although Aaron put it into one network, as you all know. All right. And yeah, Laura spoke at the meeting. Mona spoke at the meeting. Jill spoke at the meeting. And Scientology up north was at the meeting. They all like I just mentioned, talked about the permits that they're going to get this year into next month's Halloween party that they want to have. But they said not to even bother giving it to them because of the chaos that goes around. Now, keep in mind, none of the Scientologist kids are there. They won't let them be kids. So everybody, including me, has the tendency of thinking kids should be kids, which they should. So none of the kids who are actually in Scientology are ever at those parties. Just kids who are outside of Scientology come in. Now that's a recruitment scheme that they have. So, okay. All right. This is cut up, looks like. And none of their parents are there either. Now, they do not tell anyone that when they actually go to these parties. Because guess what? It's really, really looks at, they want to look attractive enough for them to lure them in and pull them into their cult, which it is. All right. None of those kids are Scientologists until them and their families get in. And then next year, if they have them, you're not going to see them there. And let's see, what else is there? I'm forgetting about it. Oh, yeah. Aaron mentioned they're going to have the biggest protest in Clearwater. They're expecting a huge crowds of people, including the ones that are in the SPTV community that has personalities. Now, I am not going to be there because, first of all, I don't have enough, and second of all, I am going to get lost in the crowd. So, and it'll be upsetting to me. So I work so hard at giving you everything you see on this channel to you. Nobody acknowledges the work I did. Now picture me actually doing this, keeping notes, keeping up with everything. And then after the 5 days in this kitchen, even though I'm in here 2 times a week and decide to invite you guys along for the ride, watch me cook while I give my recipes to you. All right. Okay. All right. It's cooking up. So, oh, geez. I'm going to get the smaller whisk. No, the medium-sized whisk. Although I should have used the medium-sized one for this. So I'm going to take this out, put this in. Okay. All right. Guess what I just found out? It just slipped my mind. This morning, I was going to put an announcement about my channel. And guess what happened? When I went to post it and pressed return and sent it in, it just suddenly disappeared. Then, guess what happened? I went into the chat for the customer service and told them what just happened and what I wrote, which was anti-Scientologist. And then I found out that they actually monitor everything, all the activities that are going around in the former Scientologists and the advocates that are advocating against them. I found out about it this morning. They are monitoring everything. I put a post up, and when I did, it just suddenly disappears, and it also did it on Facebook. So all your advocates and all you people out there who type it in and where the chat room for the troubleshooter customer service is, they are actually deleting everything that you guys tempted to post. So I'm bringing this to you now. It nearly slipped my mind, and then I just suddenly remembered. That's what's happening. They're monitoring everything, and if they see something that they don't like, they delete it. And it never makes it on to any of the viewers on the X, social media, on any of the social medias, whether it's X, Facebook, Twitter, and all of the other social medias, because that's what's going on right now as we sort of speak. So I'm exposing that to you guys today. And I am going to make sure that, well, he probably knows by now, that I'm definitely going to tell Aaron. And you know what? Natalie is busy, and I'm going to email her this clip. Of course, you know what? I'm just going to write it in, because then I'm not going to force her to actually watch my entire show. That's what happened to me this morning. And it's, let's see, it's September 6th, Saturday, September 6th. I got on, wrote a post, posted it. Scientology was at the other end of it, and then it's suddenly disappeared. It's because they deleted it. That's what happened this morning. So me and the rest of the advocates here are exposing everything that's going on. So I'm going to timestamp this, give it to Aaron, give it to Natalie, and give it to each and everybody of the advocates that's there, because they are on social media deleting everything that everybody has. That's what's going on today. And of course, you know, they're not going to be able to hack into my computer anymore because, you know what? Hewlett Packard took the measures. Oh my gosh, I just played the scene. Well, guess what? I can't believe I said it. I slipped up. But they made sure none of it would happen again. And okay. All right. Here we go. All right. It is melting. And of course, it's going to, oh my gosh, you should check out the smell. So, and guess what? One person was on my site. I don't know if it's you guys or Scientology spying on me, actually thinking that I don't know what's going on. So that's what happened this morning. So I exposed all of it to you guys today. And I'm going to notify Aaron. Let him know. He probably already knows what anyway. That's what happened today. But now I'm convinced Buffer Squirrel had nothing to do with any of the content that's on her channel. I don't know whether she's aware of it or naive, or I don't know whether she had anything to do with any of the content that's out on there or not. But it's debatable. So I'm starting to think they have something to do with whatever's going on. I don't know. So, all right, we're going to finish up cutting all the mushrooms. Okay. And then we're going to stick it in the pan. Okay. So that's what's going on. It happened this morning to me. September 6th. Saturday, September 6th, 2025. So that's what's going on. All righty. So we're cutting off all these stems. So I gave that bit of information to you guys, and I'm going to make sure everybody knows about it. Okay. So this is such a blessing too at the same time. I just mentioned it. Okay. Now we're going to go on to the next subject. Now, ooh, this has dirt on it. Let me wash it off. All righty, here we go. And hello there. How you doing? Alrighty. Not only I'm working in front of the camera with you guys, but I'm also working behind the scene on what I'm gonna do next. Only the thing is, I'm not gonna say what it is because first of all, Scientology's gonna get a hold of whoever, threaten them, blackmail them, whatever. And then I'm not gonna be able to get the project off the ground. And also, oops. I can't have it not go into production or get the project off the ground, not go off the ground, and then everybody be disappointed, including me. So I'm working hard on getting that project off the ground for SPTV and all the volunteers. Yeah, I'm expecting everybody to volunteer. Whoever's watching all the SPTV contents. So, okay. And yeah, I am working on that right now. Keep your fingers crossed and hope it gets off the ground. So I'm going to get in touch with them maybe today. But of course, hope the season doesn't end before I do it. But you know what? Who knows? Okay. So now, okie doke. There are all the mushrooms. Now I'm going to cut it up, put it in that bowl. Now you're going to have to make sure, I'm going to rinse it off. Okay. All right. Now, okie dokie. Here we go. Now, what else is up? Okay. Oh, I got to throw these away. Hold on there. Ready? All right. There we go. Now I'm going to, like I said, cut them up, put them in this bowl, and then turn on this heat. Whoa. Okay. It is rapidly melting. All right. All right. So I'll tell you what's in this. Oh my gosh. You should just check out the smell. Now, I know I said 2.5 pounds, but guess what? I decided to throw the whole package in there. That's what I did. I threw the whole package in there. So then, alrighty. I'm going to cut all this up. Alrighty. This is mushroom stroganoff. And then I'm going to tell you what ingredients I have after I'm done. All right. And yeah, everything that happened and is going on today. And if your work starts disappearing, start questioning it. Okay? Everything I just told you that happened. All right. Now, are they going to go in and delete it? I don't know, really. So, yeah. So if you have social media and have the subject of Scientology and get ready to post it, they're going to immediately delete it and make like it never existed. So keep a close eye on each and every social media. Okay. That's what happened to me this morning. Of course, I know I'm repeating myself. So I exposed it. So there we go. Oh. Okay. And I think it's past 5 now. Okay. So I'm going to throw this one away. All right. Okay. All right. No dead air. What else is going on? All right. Okay. Sorry about the dead air. Let's see here. What else is going on? Okay, let's see here. Of course, told you a story about Jamie Mustard. Okay. Yeah. Okay, I told you several times about Aaron and his supposed trial going to happen. I don't think it's going to happen. So I know I mentioned it several times a day, but okay. All right. Now, all righty. Now we are going to saute these mushrooms. Okay, so we're going to put this in the sink. And I'm going to use this spatula. All right. Oh, wow. This is starting to smell like heaven. Oh, jeez. Okay. Now we're going to turn it on. And then once the mushroom shrinks, we're going to add this. Now I'm going to turn on the skillet and mix it up at the same time. But to garnish, add a fingerful, or if it's about like using your palms, use a palmful of parsley and decorate your stroganoff. So while it's heating up, stir this. All right. Now, what else is going on? All right. Yeah, and you heard about, I don't know if I mentioned this before this week, Jessica Palmadessa, or was it the last week? Jessica Palmadessa was walking down the street. And of course, you know, Scientology once again called him a bomb threat, and the police was two police cars were at the street where Scientology was located. Of course, we all know how much of a prank that Scientology pulls off in their dirty tricks department. And it's to actually cause a distraction. That's why, okay, that's why they called it in. They have a habit of making false claims to the police to have them put out a commission. Now, guess what? It didn't work. All right, so now I'm going to put in the mushrooms. I think I better turn this down. All right. I'm going to turn this down a little bit. All right. All right. Now, and you know, each and every time a person calls the police, you know, that's taxpayers' money. They do that rapidly, and it's costing all of us. And some of us can't afford something like that. Well, of course, the rich doesn't want to pay for something like that. And the smart ones always thinking, you know what are these people thinking that they're wasting our taxpayers like that? The wealthy is also going to say that. Not just the ones in the poor sector, but everybody. This is an everybody's issue. Of course, you know that. And, okay, so now I am going to stir this up, and we're going to saute it until it shrinks. Now, I turned down my stove a bit. Okay. Oh, boy. Okay, I'm going to get to that in a sec. Or I can get to it now. Let me see here. Now I'm going to whisk up the jam. Oh my gosh, it should just check out the strawberry smell. Now there's very little sugar in this. I only put about 1/3 cups. Or wait a minute. I think it's 1/3 cups. Let me check it. I know it's 1/3 cups. Let me check it. Now, let's see. Here it is. Oh no, it's 1/2. Oops. Although, you know what? It works out well because we all know strawberries naturally have sugar. So, all right. All right, so we're going to keep sauteing this until it shrinks, and then we're going to add the sauce in. Oops, and guess what? We're also going to boil up some pasta at the end, right when I exit. So, okay, let me see here. Okay. All right. And let's see. As soon as I'm done with this, I'm going to pull this aside and then make the pasta. Of course, I forgot to boil in the pasta. Towards the end, I'll make my So then we're going to stir fry this. Okay, now it's starting to shrink. We're going to keep on stirring this. And it's going on 1 hour of stream time. All right. Okay. All right. Okie dokie. All right. Now let's see what else is going on. Gonna make sure this is shrinking as I'm sauteing this mushroom. Of course, I'm kicking back and now and not getting tired. Yesterday, I was so beat and I was in tears when I got so tired and so stressed because I write my contents during the weekend, during the week, before I actually start streaming. And then suddenly one day I got tired. So I had to stop doing that for one day and just collect myself and then just slide back into my cooking. And then I'm also going to have tomorrow's brunch for you guys. Okay. Now, that one moderator, please tell your friends. All right. Now, and of course, I have my artwork in the background. And I'm thinking, you know what? I said I was going to do my arts and crafts. So I'll bring it to you guys. I also paint for a living besides doing my other craft. And me in the performing arts has nothing to do with why I'm actually on channel doing an anti-Scientologist video, but I'm actually am sympathetic towards everybody, and I know what it's like for people who are children to be working as a young child, because guess what? My dad was also a child laborer in Turkey. So I know about it firsthand because my father told me stories when I was a kid. And okay, looks like it's done. Okay, so I'm just, yeah, I cry all the time, especially when I heard Jamie Mustard's story. The only thing is, there was never any filth around my father. There was filth around those kids at the Scientology building. So it was unbelievable. And I know my father, who bless him, is now in heaven along with my mother, my grandparents, and my ancestors. All right, now I'm going to pour this in there. All right, there we go. Now there's the skillet. All right. All right, there we go. Now, oh boy, this is so cool. Now, oh my gosh, guess what? The strawberry smells so amazing. Oh my gosh. Okay. Now we're going to stir it up until it thickens. Now, okay. Now, just in case, I think I'll put 1 tablespoon of cornstarch. Okay. All right, here we go. I'm only going to put 1 tablespoon in there so it can thicken up. Okay. Now, so I know what it's like firsthand. My dad told me his story, but Jamie had it worse. I should do it. All right. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. If only you can smell the strawberries. It is so amazing. Oh my gosh. And I keep bringing it up, but oh my gosh. So I put a tablespoon of cornstarch in so it can thicken up a bit. Hopefully. Oh my gosh. It just smells so amazing. All right. Now I'm going to, maybe I never should have put cornstarch in, but who knows? All right. Now, all right. It's great. You should actually smell the amazing, oh my gosh, amazing strawberries. It is unbelievable. So I'm going to turn this down a bit. Oh my gosh. I am just off in heaven. I'm thinking, should I put the tablespoons of cornstarch in there? I don't know. But you know what? I just didn't want it to be all soupy, so I put it in. So, of course, I didn't do it in advance. I never do these recipes in advance. I just go ahead and do it. So, it's unbelievable. Now, tomorrow, I don't know what to plan for tomorrow's recipes for brunch. Yeah. All right. Now, oh boy. Okay. Now, you know what? I'm not going to use a whisk anymore. I'm going to go grab a spoon. Or I can use this. I'm going to use this spatula. I'm going to stir it up. I'm going to get rid of this. All right. And hopefully it will keep on thickening. All right. And then I'm going to keep on stirring it. All right. Now, you know, some of the strawberry jams you see in the supermarket have preservatives in there that'll keep it fresh longer. And some of them do have cornstarch in there, if you read it. Okay. All right. Let's see here. You know what? It's not bad at all. So I'm just going to throw this in there and keep on using the spoon. Of course, I'm going to keep stirring it. All right. And then I'm going to come over here and stir this. Okay. Alrighty. All right. And it's unbelievable. Now, what else is going on besides me telling you what went on today? Hopefully, you're on there, Miss Kim. So keep telling your friends, please. At the same time, I don't care about the popularity. A small audience is fine. I don't care how big my audience is. But I'm only getting one, which is practically not enough. But no, thank you, that one person. Not that I'm not grateful, but at the same time, I don't want to feel like I'm talking to a wall. But it doesn't matter how big my audience is, just as long as, you know what, everybody watches. And yeah, I don't care how popular I am. Period. I don't care. I am just into character studies. I've been studying for years. People is something that there are a bunch that I love. People I love and their characters I love. But, there's not much money into it, so you have to take a job. Of course, I keep trying, but it's stuck in my computer. But this week, my nephew took it and took it with him. So then, okay. Yeah, all these tragedies are happening due because of David Miscavige. So now the FBI and the police departments are not doing anything because they're infiltrated. And are there leaks? I don't know. So, and it's total chaos. All right. This is what it looks like. I don't want to tip it over. I wish I had one of those oversights. Okay. All righty. All right. Okay. Oh, wow. If only you can smell the strawberries. I know I keep saying it, but oh my gosh, it's like heaven. So, and in Scientology, children are not children. They're treated like adults. And it's horrible. Of course, you know what? I want garlic in my stroganoff, so I'm going to put garlic in there. So I'm going to put, I wasn't planning on putting this since it's not in the recipe, but guess what? I love my garlic, and I'm going to put in 2 teaspoons of it. So, 2 teaspoons. And I am getting towards the end of my garlic powder. So, I wasn't planning on putting it in, but I'm in love with garlic. Garlic is my favorite herb. I think it's an herb. I've been asking that question. Is it considered vegetation? I don't think so. I think it's more considered to be an herb, I think. Okay, so there it is. I put it in. So I put the stroganoff in. But guess what? If you want to put beef-based vegetable, you can. Put about a couple of cups in. A cup in, and you can right off to heaven. Okay. And sorry if I'm cramming religion down your throat, everybody. But I'm not going to cram anything down anyone's throat. Like Scientology crams their cult down their throat, everybody's throat. And of course, you know, Tom Cruise was caught cramming cult-like theories down Matt Lauder's throat and the viewers' throat. Okay. All right. So I think there it is. Okay. I'm going to let it bubble once again. Hopefully it won't burn. Okay. All right. Now I'm going to pull this to the side. And then you serve it with pasta. So I think stroganoff is, I think, German. Yeah, I should have checked on it when I actually used this. All right. All right. All righty, here we go. All righty. Okay, so I'm going to pull this aside. Okay. And then we're going to boil up pasta. Oh, boy. Okay. Now. Okay. I'm going to boil up the pasta. Okay. All right. All righty. So there it is, your stroganoff. I wish I can show you. Here, maybe I could. Let's see. I don't want to spill it on my computer. Yeah. Maybe I should get an overhead to show you what I'm cooking, but all right. So I am going to get a pot. All right. And I'm going to add a half a pot of this. All right, and yeah, you're supposed to actually put that stroganoff on top of pasta. So we're going to put it on top of pasta. All right, this should be enough. I don't want to fill it up all the way to the top. Make sure you don't fill it to the top. You need room. So, and the way I put it in, oh my gosh, the whole pasta is going to last you 2 weeks. So, all right. Oh my gosh. All right. All right. Oh yeah, here it is. Am I going to dump the whole thing in? Yeah. 4 cups of pasta, which is not going to be a whole thing. All right. So we're going to pour in the salt. Put a little bit in. All right. So all right. So we're going to let this boil. So we're going to turn it up. And I'm going to keep on stirring. Now, where is? Here it is. Cover this up. And now I'm going to keep on stirring the strawberries. Oh my gosh, it is so unbelievable. So, oh my gosh. Okay. Of course, you can probably stir it for hours and hours, but no, I don't want to actually bore you guys, so I'm going to come up with stories. Let's see. Alrighty. Now, all right. And let's see. Of course, growing up in polygamy, Sam was one of Warren Jeff's 35 kids. Okay. It makes look a regular big family look like a tiny crowd. So, yeah. When you're in polygamy, that's what you get. So, and it's not a good idea because guess what? You will get diseased. And that's how you can contract viruses and of course one of them is the AIDS virus. It's not like the news that you hear it every day like it was in the 80s. In the 80s, they really, really brought it into the general public like it was a total panic. And of course, during the 80s, people got the AIDS virus through a blood transfusion. Of course, they invented a machine that tested the blood before putting the blood into a person. So they checked the blood first, then they put it into the person. All right. And what else is going on? Yeah, it's not like that story is not like wildfire fire like it was in the 80s. So it was a huge story back then. Now it's not so much. It pops up every now and then when they have medication for it. Of course, a lot of the AIDS medication is so expensive. So, and what else is there? Oh, yeah. And you know how homophobic Scientology is. They're going to come out and say, out of their own mouth, include Tom Cruise, that they're not gay. That they're not homophobic, but they are. So those of you who are out in the LGBTQ community, that's what's going on in Scientology. And now, is the SPTV space going to get any more animal rights activists in there? No. I don't think so, because Dogs United Against Scientology has dogs in there doing a dog and pony show. So I'm the only one that's in the animal rights activism that's advocating against Scientology. We're not going to get any more into that space. Never. Because PETA, Mercy for Animals, and all the other animal rights activism or nonprofits are against it. So Nora and Laura FM is not going to see any more animal activism come into the advocacy that we have. It's not going to happen. I'm sorry, Nora and Laura. It's not going to happen. I wanted to, but it doesn't look like it. The only way they could actually have an animal rights activism in that space is if they take out a clip having dogs like shows, a dog and pony like show, doing animal tricks and all that. Unless that's gone, you're not going to see it. You're not going to see any more animal rights activism going in to SPTV space. It's not going to happen. So hopefully, if that happens, I'm willing to negotiate with them. I'm willing to go in, talk to all the animal rights organizations and see what they say and how I can negotiate for SPTV channels and SPTV space. Because guess what? Yeah. Is she going to have me on? I don't think so. But just in case, it's a Scientology trick, just in case. Yeah. Just in case. Yeah. I'll negotiate with them. So, Buffer Squirrel, I'm sorry. You're not going to have any more animal rights people go in there. Because they don't go for that whole dog and pony show that you have on. I'm sorry. But hopefully, you won't get any controversy. Okay. But in case it happens, I'm willing to negotiate with you. So that's it. Okay. You have to stir it for hours into it. But you know what? I'm going to make sure that you guys are having fun too, because I tell stories too. Let's see here. Okay. Yeah, so I'm sorry, anybody, but you're not going to see any more animal rights activists. You're not going to see any animal rights activists in here. And I know that they're abusing dogs, and that's why I'm staying on. But like I said, Dogs United Against Scientology has the whole dog and pony show. All the nonprofits that have the platform of animal rights activism, they don't go for stuff like that. So I'm doing you a favor, Buffer Squirrel. You're going to have to pull that clip out. Now, I'm not going to tell you who you should have on. Just pull that clip out so you won't get any controversy. All right. Okay. All right, there we go. All righty. All right. Yeah, sorry. You're not going to get any more animal rights activists in there. Sorry, Nora and Laura FM. I know I've been watching you guys, and you said you would like to see animal rights activists in there. I'm sorry. I'm just telling you what it is. You're not going to see any animal rights activists on that platform because of the animal abuse. Now, I'm passionate about animals. My first reaction when buffer squirrels started treating me like crap was to disband for good from the channel. But I am too much into the cause to even do that. I love advocating for all those Scientologists and, of course, the animals. I'm just too much into it. I just love advocating for people. I love people. I love animals. But special of all, I'm saying this in the sake of the whole network of the independent channels. So, Buffer Squirrel, you're going to have to take that one clip out. Because no animal rights advocate is going to go on there if they know that there's a dog and pony show. Okay. All right. So you're going to have to stir and stir and stir until it gets to the end and it thickens. All right. All right. It's almost boiling. All right. Yeah. Sorry, you guys. You're not going to see any animal rights activists on this channel, except for me. Now, I love dogs, and I'm passionate about animals, and I love people. And, yeah. First thing happened when me and Buffer Squirrel, I hope it's not true, and I hope it's Scientology trying to cause trouble. I'm hoping that there's no issues because you know how Scientology is. So, okay. All righty. So, okay. Yeah, I'm just going to pour the whole thing in there. That's what I do. So, there we go. And this is going into recycling. All right. I have my other spoon. Now, everybody, this I got from the dollar store. The first time I got this and I used it, it bent. I'm not kidding. So get something sturdier. Make sure it doesn't bend up on you. But after a while, it stopped doing that. So there it is. So let me put this in my recycle. Okay. Oh my gosh. All right. All right. Now I try to at least be on screen for at least 30 minutes. And I would love to be there for about 30 minutes to an hour. So, Now, buffer squirrel, I am going to make an effort to get along with her. I'm hoping it's Scientology up to their tricks. But, okay. Now, I'm going to try my hardest. Hopefully, it's Scientology. All right. Now, I'm going to keep on stirring and keep on stirring. All right. Yeah, you have to stir it as you go along because you're not going to get jam if you don't stop, if you stop stirring. It has to get to the bottom and then you'll get strawberry. So you have to stir it for hours and hours and hours. Okay. Now the heat is on about, let's see, is on 5, not 4, 5. And yet it's bubbling up and making foams. Now this thing cooks fast. All right, so I'm gonna have to turn this down a bit. Yeah, this stove is a piece of work. It cooks everything fast. All right. Do I like it? No. It throws you off completely. You have to have it like on 4 in order for it to actually. All right, see, I turned it on 4 and the white foam is gone. Usually medium heat is 5. And the white foam disappear. So you have to keep on stirring and stirring and stirring until it gets to the end. All right. So what else? Now, I also sent a letter to Aaron Smith 11. Now, I do want to get along with Buffer Score. Hopefully, I didn't actually was being mean. I got bipolar. And of course, I could slip up and easily say something that's nasty, even though I'm not a nasty person. Everybody who meets me likes me. Of course, there are a few that doesn't. And let's face it, we're not going to always be liked, per se. All right, so we're going to keep on stirring. So guess what? We're going on to 1 hour and 44 minutes. All right. So we're going to keep on stirring it. Until it gets to the end. All right. Yeah, it's enough for 1 jar. Okay, so you have to keep on stirring it. All right. And I hope I'm really entertaining you guys. So let's see. I'm going to try and finish one project using the paint, and I'll stream it maybe on Friday. So, And do I do people? Sometimes, but I have ADHD, and it's not to my liking. But other people would like it, but I have to sharpen it up a little more. So, okay. All right. All right, let's see. What else is there to talk about? All right. Okay. Now, okay. All righty. What else is there? I'm thinking. All right. All right. Let me see here. Let's see. Okay. Now, do I want to air my dirty family laundry onto public? No. Because it doesn't look attractive, so I don't want to do that. And yeah, airing everybody's dirty laundry in public, not a good thing, but now I'm keeping my fingers crossed and hope that it's Scientology's dirty trick and it's not buffer squirrel. So I didn't think of it until this morning. Yeah, I'm thinking, oh no, what if I was thinking that it was buffer squirrel and all along it was Scientology? Because there were apologies that were prepared and looked like ahead of time. Now, was it her? I don't know. I do not know firsthand. And am I into reality shows? No. There is no talent involved. So I am not into reality shows. They have some kind of entertainment in there, like singing, dancing, acting, maybe. But let's face it, people don't want to hear it. Of course, it's high in ratings, but at the same time, nobody wants to hear it. But it's the highest rated shows. Of course, it's probably dropping a bit. So, but shows like American Idol and is it Dancing with the Stars? I don't know. Are they still on air? I don't know. I really don't. Is it on air? Who knows? Okay, I got my one moderator. I hope I'm entertaining you. So I'm keeping my fingers crossed, hoping that it's Scientology up to their dirty tricks. And Buffer Squirrel doesn't have a problem with me because I sent several clips to Buffer Squirrel and she doesn't want to put them on. So it's nothing much I can do about it. My first reaction was make my own space with all the channels on it. But you know what? I put it off thinking could be one of Scientology's dirty tricks. Moderator, hopefully you'll check on that. All right. All right. Oh my gosh. I know I'm saying this several times, but it smells like heaven in here. It smells with strawberry smells. So hopefully, gosh, you keep stirring. Keep stirring because you do not want it to stick to the pan. So keep on stirring and stirring. And hopefully my stroganoff is not getting cold at the same time. Okay. All right. All right. At first, that's the way I felt. I was crying, and then all of a sudden I was like, what if it's Scientology and one of their dirty tricks? I started feeling so horrible a little bit. If Buffer Squirrel, well, of course, Buffer Squirrel doesn't know me, and I'm thinking, oh, wow, she doesn't know me? Why is she saying this? Then I thought, oh, oops, maybe it's Scientology. So I'm keeping my fingers crossed and hope that Buffer Squirrel didn't say all those nasty things. But what can you say? Because guess what? Stories 5 times a week is a lot of work because you got a lot of notes to keep. So it's not an easy thing. And then I'm in the kitchen during the weekend, cooking, giving former Scientologists recipes. And of course, other people who are on this channel can join in. I'm not going to leave anyone else out. Okay. So I'm going to keep on stirring this and stirring this and stirring this. All right. I'm not going to use a whisk. I went from a whisk to a spoon, a spatula. Of course, you have to stir it as it goes along and goes until the end. So that's what you get. Of course, I used frozen strawberries and 5 tablespoons of lemon juice. So you just have to keep on stirring and keep on stirring. Okay. Let me see what the stroganoff tastes like. Use a regular spoon. All right. You really want me to be honest with you and see what it tastes like? Let's see here. Actually, it's not bad. Okay. All right. Get the unsweetened plant-based milk. Get that. All right. Yeah. I'm keeping my fingers crossed and hoping it's Scientology up to their dirty tricks. All right. All right. Yeah. So I'm going to cut back a little on the stories because by the time Friday comes around, I am so tired. Yeah. But keep your fingers crossed for me and hope that it's not but for squirrel. Yeah. But I do want to get along with Buffer Squirrel, even though I don't know her. Now we're going to have to coexist. That's what I want, really. And I'm not just saying it because I'm on air. Do I get upset when I'm off air? Of course. It's a normal reaction. But I don't want to get nasty with her. I was actually sent her a nice letter. It wasn't hostile at all. All right. Okay. All right. Okay. Now I'm going to turn this on low. See what happens. All right. Yeah. You don't want to hang around my channel for hours, so. All right. Let's see if this is done. Of course, I'm not Italian, so can't really tell that. Let's see here. I guess it needs a little bit more cooking on that. Okay. All right. Cook a little more, then I'll be done. Maybe a couple more minutes. Now, Italians, I am making this soft. Now, usually I boil my pasta until it's soft. Now, those of you who cook and know how to cook pasta, you don't necessarily have to be Italian. Put a link down below. Tell me if I'm doing it right or not. With the link down below, with the comments down below, let me know if I did it right. If you're a chef or you grew up making pasta, let me know. And I'll check the comments and see what is going on. Okay. And all right. I put it on low heat. And I'm going to let it cook until the end of the night and then check on it. And then tomorrow morning, I'll bring it to you, or maybe about 11 o'clock, maybe 12 o'clock during brunch, and let you know how this turns out. Okay. Now I'm going to close the top and let it cook for hours. Okay? And then we're going to see how it turns out. Okay. Now make sure it's on low heat though. You're going to let it, and then at the end, if it gets to the bottom, then that should do it. Of course. So if you got a recipe and you want me to cook it on air, but one rule, it has to be either vegetarian or vegan. No beef. Okay? So, my email address is below. Send me your email and let me know what recipe of yours that you want me to cook, and I'll cook it. But Green Glass wants me to cook baklava. Now, I don't know, because I don't want to get any bigger, and I don't want diabetes. So I will cook it. I promise. So I do got my nuts. I need phyllo dough and butter. So, okay. Now this is still boiling. And let's see here. Usually I cook my pasta until it's really soft, and then I dump it and then eat it. Now, if you think I'm doing it wrong, let me know. Comments down below. I know I'm saying this several times. Okay, let me see. Okay. Now it's done because it's soft. If it's not soft, let me know. I will be checking all the comments. Okay? So, now, like my content, buy me a coffee, or if you can't and you can't afford it, you don't have to. I know what it's like, so I'm not going to milk any money out of you. So that's the way I'm going to use it. So can't afford it, don't bother. But if you can, buy me a coffee, hit the like, press subscribe, and I'll see you tomorrow for brunch. Bye.